In this video, I'm going to explain how you can rotate your IP address with each HTTP request. So rotating IP address is useful when you run web crawlers. Especially this is useful when you are sending many requests for a long period of time in a single target site. In these cases, your IP address can be blocked by the target site for sending many requests. Sometimes websites also arise reCAPTCHAs to solve which causes problems to automate crawling process. You can bypass these problems by rotating your IP address in the background of your process. So here in this Git repository, I have explained how you can do this. Although I have explained this thing, the whole procedure in this readme file, but still I'm going to explain what are the steps you need to follow. So the first thing is you clone this repository in your local machine. So copy this address in the SSH section and open up your terminal by pressing Ctrl+Alt+T. By the way, I mean using Linux, I mean Ubuntu. I have not tested this program in Windows, so I don't know whether this will work on Windows or not, but if you are in Linux, this is most probably going to work. So at first I'm going to move my directory or change my directory to the directory where I want to clone this project, which is going to be this code directory, and I'm going to clone this thing here. So you can press git clone and then paste the address. So this is going to clone the repository in my code folder. So let's change the directory to the cloned repository, and I'm going to open this thing in my VS Code by typing code dot. So this rotate IP repository is here in my local machine. As you can see here, we have two Python files. Here in this changeip.py file contains the proxy rotation codes, and this send request file contains the code which are sending request HTTP request to these websites. I have multiplied these websites with 10 to just to increase the number of websites. If I explain this code, so this function is actually sending requests to these websites, and at first we are looping through all of these URLs and these URLs where we are actually sending the request. But before we sending request, we are actually calling this renew function. So this renew function is coming from this changeip.py file, which is renew your Tor connection, Tor proxy. Actually, it renews your Tor proxy with each request. And this function is basically used to get a Tor session which uses the default 9050 port, which is your default port when you install Tor browser in your local machine. So these proxies are going to be used when we send our HTTP request to the sites. So here we are getting this get Tor session, and by using this session we are sending the request. So and as you can see, actually this program will make the sending request time a little bit slower, so I have implemented multiprocessing, but right now I am just commenting out this thing, and I will just using the normal procedure without multiprocessing to send request. But before that, you need to change some configurations in your Tor RC file. So if you have not installed Tor browser in your local machine, you can just install it by following these two commands. Just copy paste these two commands in your terminal and the Tor browser will be installed. So once you install the Tor browser, you will get a directory something like this, etc Tor, and in this directory you the etc folder is always there, but once you install the Tor browser you will get a Tor folder in your etc directory, and in the Tor folder you will have a file called tor.rc. You need to edit this file to make our hash control password available. Usually these two lines are commented out in your tor.rc file, so you need to comment out to remove the comment and make it available in your tor.rc file. I'm going to show you this a bit later, but before that we need to change this password in your tor.rc file with a newly generated password for your local machine. So you can generate a new password by using this command, like tor -- hash password, and then you put your password here. So I'm just going to open my terminal by pressing Ctrl+Alt+T. So here if you type this and just type a new password, for example maybe demo pass, you need to remember this demo pass keyword because you are generating the new password for this demo pass. So if you click here, type this thing and type this command, then you will get some hash password like this. Just copy this password, and now we are going to edit the tor.rc file. To edit the tor.rc file you need to change your directory to here, and then go backward again, and after that you need to change the directory to etc and then tor. If you change it to the tor, you will see you have these 4 files called tor.rc, tor.rc.save, and tor.sox.conf. We need to edit this file, so we're going to use nano editor to edit this. Make sure to type sudo to edit this file, because otherwise you will see that you don't have permission to edit this file. So use sudo, then nano, and then tor.rc. I guess tor.rc. Yeah, okay, you need to type okay, go down to this file, and then you will see there's something like this. In your case these 2 lines may be commented out, and you might see these pound signs before these 2 lines. You just need to remove the pound signs and make these 2 lines available, and you need to replace this password with your newly generated password, like not this one. We have generated a password just a little bit ago for the demo pass keyword, and you just need to paste it here and replace this hash password with your newly generated password for demo pass keyword. And after that you just need to, I'm not changing it because I already have generated this password and replaced this thing, so in your case you just need to replace it. And after that you just, for saving the file, you need to press Ctrl+O, then enter, and then for exiting Ctrl+X. You are all done. And after that thing you need to change your, for example in my case I use the welcome keyword to generate the password. I use the demo pass keyword, so I need to change this thing in my code. In the change IP you need to change this thing as your demo pass, but as I have not replaced my password, so I'm just going to use the previous password, which was welcome, because my tor.rc file's hash control password is for the welcome keyword. So I'm just going to keep it as it is, but in your case just use the keyword that you use for generating your hashed control password. So let's before that, you need to install two modules. You need to install this stem and requests module. The stem module is used for actually send to send a connection to your Tor browser. So if we look the stem module, so it's actually this controller library that allows applications to interact with Tor. And this requests module is actually used for sending HTTP requests. So as you can see, requests allow you to send HTTP requests extremely easy, and so you know it. But before we run our actual program, it's better to restart our Tor service. So you can just do so by this command. So sudo service to restart. So if you open up your terminal, just paste it and just click it. So this is going to restart your Tor service. And after that, we're just going to run our program to see how it's working. So in the send request, so we're going to run this send request file to send HTTP requests to these websites and how it works. We're just going to say python send request.py. Remember, this code is actually will print your public IP address first. So in the first line, it prints your public IP address before it's sending the request to using any Tor session. As you can see, it's actually using the request module to send your request just to get your public IP address, and these websites actually gives you your public IP address. If I go to this site, so this actually gives your public IP address. In my case, my public IP address is this one, and when this will send request to each of the URL here, and after sending let's do this thing here. After sending each of the requests, so the first URL is going to send, it just prints after the session, and then it rotates your IP address. So when it rotates your IP address, and we can see the changed IP address by using the same website. So just type python send request.py so that we can see. So this is my public IP address, and then it will send request to the first in the google.com, and then as you can see, it rotated the IP address to this address, which is different to this address. The second IP address is also the same, but but most of the time it changes the IP address. So as you can see, for this amazon.com, it changed the IP address to this one, which is different from this one, and then again changed the IP address. But as you can see, this program is a little bit slow, as it's actually trying to connect with the Tor browser, and Tor browser is mostly slow. And we can make this process faster. I just cancel this program by pressing Ctrl+C. If we implement this thing using Python's multiprocessing library, so I'm using 20 processes to send requests. You can make these things faster using Python's multiprocessing library, this library, and this is going to use your parallel processing. So if I run the same program now, you will see the program gets a lot faster. So as you can see, it's sending so many requests, and it's way more faster than the previous one.